Mystic ancient secrets can all be answered when you ask the mystic Access Guru. That is I, the great exalted one. I have come across 3 astral projections through the god plane in the hero metamorphosis to give you the knowledge you deserve.
We've been running a lot of big investigations this year.
Mystic ancient secrets can all be answered when you ask the mystic Access Guru. That is I, the great exalted one. I have come across 3 astral projections through the god plane in the hero metamorphosis to give you the knowledge you deserve.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you here. You were here early. I think somebody else was here too, but YouTube doesn't hold on to chats for very long in live streams. But today we have Brian's Logic going to tell us about Eratosthenes. Oh, and yeah, happy Veterans Day, Lisa. And you're welcome.
Okay, this is going to be a video about Eratosthenes. Obviously, not about Eratosthenes the man, just Eratosthenes, and the claims concerning what he, right, whether he existed or not, is claimed to have done, right? Now,
doesn't matter if he existed or not, Brian. Doesn't matter. The principle stands firm. The principle works.
Obviously, I've touched on this in the past many times, and we've been through this in the past, but this is going to be a little bit more comprehensive. Okay, let's get stuck in because there's a good few things to show. Okay, this is what they must claim concerning Eratosthenes when it comes to a globe, right? They're claiming that Eratosthenes was in Alexandria.
Yeah, it was. See, Brian, when you did your little thing in GeoGebra to show about the shadows and stuff, you showed those 2 cities apart, Nicene and whatever the 2 cities are. You show them to be like 24,000 miles apart. That's when you tried to do math, Brian. It was funny. It was really funny. I'm checking to see if I'm. No, I'm not blocked on this channel. I've told him. I'm going live. So you might show up.
With an obelisk, and there's a well in Cyan, and that, if you look at this diagram, they need two suns, because they need to claim there's this big monstrous sun 93 million miles away, that their globe is receiving light that hasn't diverged yet from. So their sun does have diverging light, but their globe is so close to it and so small in comparison to their sun that the light they're gaining is parallel. But it's so ridiculous that in this diagram they have to show two suns. That's why I like this. Now, obviously,
Yeah, they're showing two suns because idiots like you can't figure out that two lines would be coming from the same thing. You're not smart at all, Brian.
it's not an experiment. It's not an
Hey, George.
experiment. It's a measurement. Measurements aren't experiments, scientific experiments. But either way, this is the nonsense they must show you, right? This is what, for them, this is what Eratosthenes is, right? So they must believe that an elevation angle can have a curved adjacent. That's literally the truth of it, okay? So here it is again, same thing again. Here it says wall, obelisk is what it really is in the original story, as far as I know. If you go to Carl Sagan, wall in Cyan is actually well in Cyan. So the whole point of this is that the sun sun at noon on the 21st of June, which is the solstice, is directly over the well in Cyan, so it casts no shadow. And there's a shadow cast by the obelisk 5,000 stadia away in Alexandria, which is north of Cyan. The Alexandria and Cyan are like almost basically directly north-south. And that this angle here, which they need a horizontal for, gives them a curved distance between Alexandria and Cyan, right? So that's what they're trying to depict here as well. And here is the ridiculous, look, sun rays from a very long distance, right? Flat Earth and spherical Earth, right? And they're giving this an angle, right? That would be an elevation angle, which means the sun would have to be directly over this point, which would mean this curved line here would have to be straight here. Now, of course, they want to focus on, and this is the whole thing.
Hey, what's that?
Whole thing about the Eratosthenes non-experiment measurement.
Non-experiment.
Is that they want to talk about parallel sun rays because they need to red herring away from the actual measurement.
No, it's not a red herring, Brian. Just because you aren't honest enough or intelligent enough to understand it, it's not a red herring. I wanted to find this video. Where is it? I saved it somewhere. Trying to find my parallel. There it is. Yeah, there it is. So one thing I told Brian I'd do is prove parallel sun rays. So there, Brian. These are sun rays created by the sun on these posts on the ground. Can you see them, Brian? Do they look parallel? See, when you're directly over them, perpendicular to them, they're parallel, Brian. Let's see if you get down at ground level and you look at them in perspective. Guess what? They diverge, just like railroad tracks.
In the original story, Eratosthenes said that if the sun is small and local, and we're gaining divergent light from it, then the Earth is flat. But if it's big and far...
No, Eratosthenes never said that because he knew the Earth wasn't flat, Brian. Eratosthenes never said that. That was never in that story. if the Earth is flat. No, he never said that. You're a liar.
Away, and we're gaining parallel light from it, then the Earth can be a globe of radius 3,959 miles, and that will allow us to explain the shadows we see in reality. Well, it doesn't explain all the shadows, but in a two-dimensional sense like this, mathematically, he could say that. Once he denied the measurement that he had made, which involves a horizontal plane, right? For
What? No, it didn't involve a horizontal plane, stupid. It involved a curve. See, the Earth is a sphere, Brian. It's an oblate spheroid. It's not flat.
him to make that measurement, the sun needed to be here, and the light from the sun needed to create a shadow that was this length based off of an obelisk this height, and that meant that this whole baseline here had to be flat and horizontal and parallel to mean sea level, which is another horizontal. Right, here we are again, same thing, right? Divergent light, right, from the sun will give us a flat Earth. Parallel light from the sun, right, here on a globe will, right, they didn't show.
No, this is not parallel light, Brian. See, this is what parallel light looks like. This is what parallel light looks like. Not this. Not what you're showing. I mean, does that look parallel? Does it?
This is presumed to be parallel, obviously, right? As in, not actually parallel, but meeting the globe parallel, right? That for a globe there, right? It's nonsense, right? Here we again, 5,000.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense because you don't understand it, right? Yeah.
Stadia 7 point, I think it's 7.24 degrees. Some of them say 7.2, some of them say 7.1. I think I worked it out before. If it's around 500 miles, it's like 7.24. Kind of thing. I'd have to do a more precise. Either way, it's somewhere around that. Don't matter, right? Once again, you know, sun ray coming down. Right, that's what they call them, sun rays. It's just light from the sun. There's no such thing as rays. They're only mathematical. That this is going into the well, but it's creating a shadow here. Same story all along. Here we are. I often show this in other videos where you have, look, flat Earth model with X. Now, there's no flat Earth model. There's no globe model either. But even believe there is, because that.
But that's, yeah, this is a spherical Earth model, a globe Earth model. And this is a, yeah, see, it doesn't work in a flat Earth model at all. It only works in a spherical model, Brian. See the relationship to where these are on the Earth and the angle to the sun is a linear relationship. This is not. This is not a linear relationship, Brian.
That's all they've got. Divergent light, obviously, you know, will over a flat plane will give us this effect, right? Parallel light to a.
But the angles will not match reality, Brian. Will not match what we would expect them to be in reality.
Earth surface will give you this effect, right? But you can't make the measurement because it's not going to work, right, on a curved surface.
Why? Why won't it work on a curved surface, Brian? You can't get a measurement. You can't get an angle measurement from a curved surface? Since when?
Doesn't work, the measurement on the curved surface, which I'll show in a while. Here it is again, same thing, right? I'm just showing a good few of these. And once again, divergent light hitting the Earth, flat Earth, parallel light, right, light that hasn't diverged yet, because I like to be correct, within their paradigm, hitting their globe will give them this mathematical effect. But as I said, you can't make them.
No, it gives that reality effect, Brian. It's not just math, it's reality.
The measurement on a globe, because it can't be done. So here is how it can be done. This is the measurement, you know, elevation angle, right angle triangle, right triangle. Here is, right, right triangle to the sun. You have your azimuth and you have your elevation, right triangle, right? This part here, this line here, that it's the Earth's surface or its power.
No, it's not, Brian. No. No, you don't even need the Earth's surface to measure an angle. You just don't.
Parallel to mean sea level, right? which meaning that mean sea level is horizontal also. Level. No point higher or lower than the other.
Right, parallel to the Earth's curvature. Exactly.
Not curved. So, which would be three-dimensional. So, here you have again.
No, sphere is a two-dimensional surface, dipshit. It's a two-dimensional surface.
Right.
The Earth itself, as a whole, is a three-dimensional object, but the surface is two-dimensional.
Elevation angle, right triangle, right? Here you have it again. Sun elevation angle, right triangle. This would be where the well is. This would be where Eratosthenes is. This would be the obelisk. This would be the sun, right? Simple stuff, right? Right. Here you have it again, right triangle. No messing around. We all know what's going on. I didn't look at the whatever stuff is on here. It doesn't matter. It's just the right triangle I want to show. Here we have again, right triangle. There's the column or obelisk.
There we go, right triangle. I didn't even look at it, but it's a right triangle, so it proves me right. What a dumb fuck. Hey, Billy.
Shadow. Here is.
Yes, he's just a fucktard. He's been fucking indoctrinated into this flat Earth bullshit, and now he thinks he's a fucking rocket scientist.
The sun. Right.
See, but that's what a cult does. A cult catches you at an emotional time, at a time of not disability, but you're going through some stuff, and they welcome you with open arms, and then they tell you that everything you've learned is wrong, and they heap all kinds of praise and love on you. They make you feel welcome. But if you try and leave, they'll fucking crucify you. That's a cult.
Right triangle. The sun must be directly over a point on the Earth, and that point here is the well. Right. That means that this horizontal, right, must go all the way, even if where Eratosthenes is higher in elevation than where the well is, or the well is higher in elevation than where Eratosthenes is, or whatever. The point being is that they must be the horizontal made at the well and the horizontal made at the end of that shadow must be parallel to each other, and both must be parallel to mean sea level, right? Because mean sea level is horizontal. Here you have, once again, flat plane underneath the sun. They didn't draw in the opposite here, or the completion of the right triangle, but it's obvious, right? The sun is directly over a point here. That's where the well is. That's where Eratosthenes is. This will be where the well is. This is not difficult stuff. Here you have it again, like the Earth's surface, right? Here you go, right? Flat, right? Sun directly over what would be the well. There is Eratosthenes. There's his obelisk, solar gnomon here. Nothing complicated about that. Here we have it again. Another. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to say. Like, we really don't really know.
See, Brian, all you're showing is just angles. You aren't proving anything, Brian. You're just saying, I don't like it. And look at some angles. These prove me right. Look at how that line's straight, how it's been drawn straight. That means the Earth is flat. Jesus Christ, man. Hey, Mr. Malort. Hey, Mr. Matt Bat.
This video can really end now, really, because it's all over already for the globe. If you understand geometry and measurement. But
you don't, Brian. You don't understand geography or geometry and measurement at all. You've proven it. So, yeah. See, that's what dumb people do. Hey, Tusk, that's what dumb people do. They say, when they're trying to sound smart, they talk about a subject they don't understand. They say, but you understand it, right? Yes, you understand it. People that understand it will know.
Here we have it again, right triangle, can't be messed with. Can't beat the right triangle, impossible. So let's go on to the claim of parallel sun rays, right? The joke, right? This is the red herring.
No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke, as I demonstrated here, Brian. It's not a fucking joke at all. How do you think these shadows are parallel, Brian? How do you think that this shadow here is parallel to this shadow here? Huh? How do you figure that, Brian? How do you explain that?
I was going to make a second video on to address this, but I said I'd just do it all in one. This is the joke, the parallel sun rays thing, because it's the red herring that brings people away from the actual measurement, right? And it was only within the official story, it was a suggestion from Eratosthenes.
So, hey, Brian, what measurements have you taken? What measurements have you taken, Brian? Say, trying to detract from the measurements. What measurements have you taken, Brian?
Eratosthenes, right? But as Eratosthenes said, if we have divergent light from the sun hitting the Earth, then the Earth is flat, because he knew we have divergent light because he just measured an elevation.
No, he didn't. He knew that the rays of light were parallel, Brian. See, you're lying and strawmanning.
Angle that was 5,000.
And you're gaslighting.
Stadia long or 500 miles, statute miles long. Do you know what I mean? So he knew, obviously, yeah, the Earth is flat. And Eratosthenes knew that. But
no, he didn't, Brian. He knew that the Earth was not flat.
Maybe he was giving people a bit of hope. I don't know. So here you have sun rays. As you can see, this is true.
If I was Brian, I'd beat the living shit out of Nathan Oakley and Quantum Eraser. I really would. For fucking with my brain like that.
Two different cloud layers. And as you can see, the rays are obviously diverging.
You mean like this, Brian? You mean like this? You got parallel sun rays. Till you look at them from the ground level, like you would not being a bird. And what do you think? Hey, Brian, what do you think we're going to see the sun rays doing? What do you think they're going to be doing, Brian? Can you guess? Oh, wow, they're diverging, aren't they? Wow, they're coming together just like fucking perspective. Huh. So what do you think is different between your picture and this video? What do you think is different, Brian? Is anything different? No, nothing's different. You're a fucking idiot.
Right, off out in the distance. These ones here are obviously at an angle coming up to meet somewhere up there. Same with these rays here and these rays here. There's no perspective involved here. This is not like train tracks. Because if you put two train tracks...
See, I just proved to you that it is perspective, Brian.
Up in front of you, or 100 train tracks up in front of you, right, at a distance, right, they're not all...
Right, they're going to look like they converge, but they're fucking parallel. Huh, how about that, Brian? Like on a train yard when you have a whole bunch of train tracks in a row, parallel to each other.
Going to meet at a point.
And you look at them standing there. What do, Brian? What do? They do this. They diverge or converge at both ends, just like sun rays, like crepuscular sun rays in the morning or in the evening. I think it's mainly the morning. You have this. And then when you look straight up, you have this. And then when you look at the other end, the anticrepuscular rays, they look like that again. So what do you think, Brian?
Point in the sky.
Do you think?
That's not how it works. Perspective like that, when you see two train tracks appearing, two parallel straight lines appearing to meet, that is front-on perspective. You won't.
Yeah, just like this is, Brian. It just amazes me. They can't make the connection between light rays and railroad tracks. And they can't make the connection between boats going over the horizon and cars going over the horizon of an overpass. They just can't. It's not. They have a genetic predisposition against knowledge, against thinking. And it's really sad.
Won't have it in this situation. This is just sun rays. Right? This is just because the light hitting the Earth from the sun is divergent. That's why, because the Earth's flat.
No, it's not, and it's not. No, Brian, Earth isn't flat. It's been measured, and no, light rays are not divergent. They look like it.
The sun has, is not a big, whatever they want to claim. It's composed of 93 million miles away. Blah blah blah. Right. End of story.
See, that's why you won't ever learn, Brian, is because you blah 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 knowledge. You aren't looking for truth, Brian. You're just looking for confirmation bias. And that's fucking sad, man. That is fucking pathetic. And you're a fucking coward, too. I don't know how many times I've challenged you to a debate and you chickened out every fucking time. You must have got that from Nathan Oakley and Quantum Eraser, because they're chicken shit, too, just like you.
Right, here we have it again. Obviously not parallel rays. Now, they call them rays. Rays is just merely mathematical. So I'll use that term, right, just to not to overcomplicate things. But light rays don't exist. But either way.
Light rays don't exist. Then what the fuck are these, Brian? What the fuck are you showing? So you're showing light rays, but you're saying they don't exist. See, this is how fucking dishonest you are. You fucking piece of fucking shit. You're really pathetic, Brian.
This is what they call the sun rays coming through the clouds, right? And you can see this is obviously not parallel. You know what I mean? Parallel is very like you'll have a lot of straight lines down here. Not parallel, right?
You mean like this? Yeah, that's parallel. And yeah, if you look at any line of poles here on this land and you look at them directly overhead, guess what the shadows are going to do, Brian? Guess what the fucking shadows are going to do? They're going to do this.
And here we have it again. This is a very good one. This actually make it even bigger. There you have it, loads of...
And I'm really surprised. Here, let me scrub through a little bit. I'm really surprised he hasn't played the cut short video of Neil deGrasse Tyson. I really am. Because this is what
we could have a curved Earth with a sun that's big and far away.
See?
We needed another
See, Brian, you're familiar with this video, right? You're familiar with this, right?
well. Turns out we can't see the bottom of both wells at the same time. What might explain this? Well, there are two possible explanations. First, we could have a flat Earth with a sun that's small and
Hey, Lindsay.
close by so that the light hits the second well at an angle. Or second, we could have a curved Earth with a sun that's big and far away so that all the light comes in parallel, but only one well at a time is lit all the way to the bottom.
Yes, either explanation would work. So what do you do if you have two confounding variables? What do? You eliminate one variable, right? How do you do that?
Turns out with just two wells, there's enough wiggle room for both explanations to fit our observation.
But the two don't work. The two are not the same, and they will not give the same results. So what do?
Eratosthenes only had two wells, but what if he had added a third? With a third well, it doesn't matter where the sun is. No flat Earth model can explain the angles of all three shadows.
Yeah, he is serious about that. Yes, and it's been demonstrated. Yeah. It's been demonstrated in real life, Mr. Ball. Really? The shadows look identical to you? Yeah, in an illustration, yeah, they probably would look the same. But actually this shadow's different than this one. This shadow's different from this one. Very slight. It's a very slight difference, but it's there. But if you do it in real life, yeah.
But the spherical model explains it all 3 angles, with ease.
Yeah, he said if he would have used 3 wells. If he would have used 3 locations. That's what he said. See, flat earthers hear what they want to hear. Because they're dishonest pieces of shit. That's why.
Divergent light going on here. Look, this will.
And I'm sure Brian was invited to partake in Simon Dan's experiment. He at least knew about it, right? I mean, he knew about it because he was on the show when Nathan Oakley was crying about it. So why didn't you take part, Brian? You're such a truth seeker. Why didn't you take part in it?
That's a nice photograph, actually. I might keep that one.
See, a truth seeker isn't a person that's looking out to seek the truth of their bias. A truth seeker is a person that sets out to seek the truth no matter what the answers. You're a fucking coward.
It's nice and big, as in there's good pixelation to it or whatever. So yeah, I mean, obvious. I don't know how much more obvious you need it to be. Like that, this what they call a sun ray here is diverging from this one here, not parallel. You know, parallel.
Right. Railroad tracks look like they diverge too, don't they?
Would mean that they're both like these two objects here and this object here, like all like straight lines parallel with each other. But that's not the case, obviously, with the sun or the earth. The earth is flat. And here we have it again, another, more flat earth proof. Like, there you have it again, not or the earth is flat. And here we have it again, another, more flat earth proof. Like,
more flat earth proof. Did you measure it, Brian? Have you measured any of these things that you're showing? No, you haven't, have you? You're just spewing bullshit and lies.
There you have it again, not parallel light rays hitting the earth because the earth's flat. And here we have it again, more flat earth proof, proving the flat earth again. There's the sunspot there underneath, and here you have all the diverging sunlight. Not all like going back to meet a point because of perspective or any stupid nonsense like that. It's because it's just diverging. End of story. Obviously, we don't need gaslighting. We don't need to be gaslit by any.
Then don't gaslight, Brian, because that's what you're doing, dude. That's what you're doing. You're gaslighting the world.
Any crazy idiots who want to start telling people it's a globe when obviously it's flat. Here you have it again. You have more divergent light, not parallel light, divergent light hitting the earth, and more again. It's like every day, all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many of those you look at, Brian. They're all going to look like they diverge because the light is parallel. Now, if you look at crepuscular rays, if you have two things that are diverging, if you have two lines that are diverging, it doesn't matter what angle you look at those. One end is not going to converge. Only one end is going to. The other end won't. The end where the lines are further apart will not converge, Brian, no matter how close to them and how low to the ground you get.
Not parallel sunlight. More of it here, as you can see, it's all divergent, off out in the distance. These rays are obviously divergent from them rays. They're not parallel with them. There's just no way around that. And another one here.
I'd really like to debate this dumb fuck, because I'd start the debate off, or this portion of the debate, by showing this. By showing this, I'd say, do these sun rays diverge? Are these shadows parallel? I mean, you can even see it here, Brian. They're parallel here. See, because you're at 90, you're closer to 90 degrees to them. See, it's kind of like looking at a 2x4 on end.
Just more of it, you know.
Actually, that's not a valid comparison. Take that back.
Obvious divergence out
retract
here in
that.
comparison to here. There's a massive distances away here between those two, and there's obvious divergence going on. So that's, you know, it is what it is, flat out. Here you have it again, you know, more, and it's only a small opening in the cloud here, but even with a small opening, like technically if we were getting parallel light, then this point and this point, right, would have to be, you know, the light coming through the clouds would have to be coming down and only be as big as the opening in the clouds. Now I know people say, well,
You mean like this? You mean like this? You mean like that?
well, there's a bit of perspective because you have angular size of the clouds and everything. Like yeah.
Because of the angular size of the clouds and everything? Hey, tell us you don't understand fuck all without saying the words, Brian.
But that would be, you can't have that on. You can't have an angular size to any opening in a cloud on a globe because that doesn't exist. Only
Angular size doesn't exist on a globe? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? So the relationship between distance and size doesn't exist on a globe? You're fucking full of shit, motherfucker.
that doesn't exist in any terrestrial way for the globe. Only in a celestial way. Like objects don't change in angular size on a globe.
Really? Huh. So if someone walks away from me, they're not going to look like they get shorter, smaller? They're not going to do that? Like a plane flying in the sky that's not on the fucking earth doesn't look smaller? Ground has nothing to do with that, motherfucker. So a plane doesn't look smaller when it's flying? God damn, you are so fucking full of shit. It makes me fucking want to vomit.
You know, a mountain doesn't
Jesus Christ.
change in angular size with distance on a globe.
So prove it, motherfucker. You keep saying this, prove it. What the fuck? That's the dumbest fucking thing I've heard all year. Maybe in my entire fucking life. That angular size doesn't exist on a globe. Jesus fuck, what an idiot.
Within that paradigm, but the sun does, you know. So they have celestial
God.
Angular size changes, but not terrestrial. Either way, this is obviously, you know what I mean.
So if a plane is on the ground, on the runway, right? It's like a mile away. It's going to look like it's right next to you. Except if it takes off, then it gets really small real quick. Like instantly. Are you fucking retarded? Now, this is a serious question, Brian. Are you mentally handicapped? Are you a special needs child?
Obviously, it's not parallel, you know, end of story, you know. But look, if you want to believe it is, I'm not going to stop you. You're welcome to be as crazy as you like. And again, another, you know, obvious flat earth proof, proving the earth's flat again. Thanks to Eratosthenes for this. You know, because he made sure
So you're saying the sun is this
that
high off,
everyone knew the earth.
you're saying the sun is this high off the ground, Brian? You know, you could fly a plane and hit it. Or what happens if what happens in a room, right? Where the rays are like splayed like this, and you trace the rays and it looks like it's coming right outside the fucking window? How does that work, Brian? How does that work?
the Earth was flat.
I mean, Brian is a dumb motherfucker, isn't he? He talks slow enough that we could speed it up.
Without a doubt. And another one, this is a good photo too, I might keep this one. As you can see, someone's looking from a bit of a height, maybe it's from a drone or a helicopter, I don't know. But you can see that, like, obviously, those sun rays are not parallel. You know what I mean? I don't know, what more to say about that. But anyway, that's that, let's just say, right? So,
I don't know. You could fucking apologize for being a lying shit stain. You could do that.
once again, another point, I could just end the video here now. There's no need to go on further. But I will anyway, right? Just to really drive the point home to a load of crazy people, not the flat earthers. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, here let's show some geometry. Right, here is an obelisk in Alexandria. Right, now obviously,
yeah, that's an obelisk. Okay, that's an obelisk in Alexandria. Okay, why do you have this light right here? Why do you have this line, Brian?
Right, here is an obelisk in Alexandria. Right, now obviously, this is a solar elevation angle, which means that the well has to be directly below the sun. Right, and there has to be a horizontal line between all.
It's a solar elevation angle. That's so it has to be right under the sun. What the fuck are you talking about?
Underneath where the shadow ends and the either directly over, directly under, or directly at the well. I know there might be elevation differences, but the horizontals will still be being made. Will all be parallel, and then they'll all be parallel with sea level.
Hey Brian, you know what couldn't exist on a flat Earth? Sunset. Sunset. Sun couldn't set, man, ever.
So here you have, but right, obelisk, and here will be the straight.
I've proven that. You know what also couldn't happen? The sun going this way, this direction. See, it would always go around this way, Brian. Always go around this way. It would never go down. It'd never even start to fucking go down.
Straight adjacent to the well in Cyan. And if I just come in now,
hey, Ronnie.
GeoGebra starts giving me problems sometimes, so I just try to do it as best I can. So if I come in here, you can see well in Cyan, right? And the point I bring straight down from above here. So this arc length here, right, is the same length as this here.
They don't meet at the same point? Which one? Which one are you talking about? See, we're at 1628. I think I saw what you're talking about. Maybe here? Yeah. Yeah, these rays right here don't meet the same place. See, these would meet way up there. These are, yeah, I don't know.
This is a solar elevation angle, which means that the well has to be directly below the sun, right? And there has to be.
Now, I think they do meet at the same place. I think they do meet at the same place. But it's just real fucking far away.
A horizontal line between underneath where the shadow ends and the either directly over, directly under, or directly at the well. I know there might be elevation differences, but the horizontals will still be being made. Will all be parallel, and then they'll all be parallel with sea level. So here you have, but right, obelisk, and here will be the straight adjacent to the well in Cyan. And if I just come in now, GeoGebra starts giving me problems sometimes, so I just try to do it as best I can. So if I come in here, you can see well in Cyan, right? And the point I bring straight down from above here. So it's this arc length.
What the fuck are you showing, Brian? This makes no sense at all. This makes absolutely no fucking sense. What the fuck are you showing, dude? See, number one, you've got this fucking backwards. If this line here represents the fucking sun, the rays of the sun, see, you've got the obelisk in Alexandria. Should be over here, Brian. This should be the obelisk, and this should be the well, because if the sun's coming in this direction, the well wouldn't have any shadow, but this would.
Length here, right, is the same length as this here. Just one second.
Unless you're saying the sun is coming in this direction, if the sun's over here. Is that what you're saying, Brian?
Kind of grab this. Right. Let me see. Where's the other one gone to? Is it this one? Oh, no, sorry. I know what it is. Sorry, I'm mixing myself up here. Just a sec. So here you have the arc length here of 434.
You think he drew? You think he came up with this? You think he came up with this?
This one.
You think he came up with this himself, all by his lonesome, or do you think he downloaded this somewhere?
Right. Let me see. Where's the other one gone to? Is it this one? Oh, no, sorry. I know what.
I mean, he doesn't understand geometry. There's no fucking way that he could understand how to program GeoGebra in with geometry.
Sorry, I'm mixing myself up here. Just a sec. So here you have the arc length here of 434.48. That is in nautical. I have that in nautical miles, right? Because I'm using minutes of degree. And I'm going to use this, the circle, right? So
it doesn't matter. Fuck, dude, it doesn't matter if you're using nautical miles or statutory miles. It doesn't matter. It's still gonna go. It's still gonna to yield the same result. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm using nautical miles because of angles. You are dumb as fuck, man.
Even though nautical miles are horizontals, they're still like you can turn them into minutes of degree. Either way, I'm using nautical, and you can change it as you need to. So what this shows is that if the sun is up here, then the problem is that the well when Eratosthenes does what he does, the well.
So he does have them backwards. See, the well should be here because the sun's coming in directly overhead, showing no shadow. And this should be the obelisk. Here, see, you don't show the obelisk up. You don't show the obelisk. You just show a point on the ground. And then a line drawn in at an angle.
It has to be here because it has to be at the other end of a straight line, right? The horizontal, the other end of the adjacent, right? If I just go up here, right? Here's the obelisk, here's the shadow, here is the well. The sun has to be directly over the well.
No, that's not an obelisk. That's the what the fuck? It's in France. Jesus Christ. Fuck, what is the name of that thing? Hey, Ender. I'm completely fucking retarded today. Eiffel. That's the Eiffel Tower, man. That's the Eiffel Tower. And I have no idea what the fuck this is. So you're showing the globe Earth here. So you've got it almost correct here, but then you're showing this horse shit of flat Earth. You're not smart at all, man. You're just corrupt as fuck.
Well, that's the way it works. That's what a solar elevation angle is. That's what Eratosthenes was talking about. Here is that divergent light, right, creating the shadow, and here is the obelisk, right? But the problem here is that when you use the arc, right, which I have done here, right, you end up with.
He doesn't even have fucking. He doesn't even have the. Dude. I mean, this. Holy shit.
1.16, 1.161 or almost 1.162 nautical miles of a difference, right? Now, there's no way.
Yeah, very good point, Ender. Why is he even talking about this? Did he not get the memo? Yeah, lights in the sky don't prove the shape of the ground, dipshit, right?
For the sun to be directly over this point here, which would be the Wellens ion on a globe, there's no way for that to happen and for there to not be a shadow, right?
See, if you draw it wrong, you'd be confused. Now, if you switch them around, see, this would be the obelisk because it's casting a shadow, Brian. See, the obelisk would be here. The sun's coming down. This right here would be the shadow of the obelisk. God damn.
There's no way for that.
I mean, you kind of gotta be grateful for like the flat Earth cult, because their head's so fucked up that they just don't go anywhere. They just stay online. They talk. They stay on YouTube watching flat Earth videos, going to fucking conferences and shit. They don't have a chance to get out and pollute the rest of the general population with their bullshit. So you kind of have to thank that. Be thankful for that.
For that to happen, for that to be directly over, not only would
For every 8-hour stream that they're online, they aren't out spreading this bullshit to honest people.
this well here have to be here, which would be wrong because it only works. It would be wrong because in a straight line that's the actual distance there. Because what is the length? 434.48 nautical miles is around 500 statute miles. So the point being is that this would be whatever, it's 1.1508, multiply this by that, and you will get the statute mile distance. Point being is that there is a differential, right? And the sun can't be directly over this well here, not create a shadow in the well on the globe, because the well is then at an angle to the sun. Can't be, right? That can't.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Just switch the two. Switch the two, Brian. 1909. See, all you have to do, Brian, to make it make sense is erase this and erase that, and then take this text, put it here, and take this text and put it here. See, if the sun's coming down directly overhead of this point here, where you don't get a shadow, it's going to show an angle on this thing here that's at an angle to the straight lines of the sun rays. See, you're so fucking dishonest, Brian. You deliberately switch these to make it seem like it's fucking impossible on a globe. But the only impossible thing is your ability to learn, your desire and willingness to learn.
Directly over this well here, not create a shadow in the well on the globe, because the well is then at an angle to the sun. Can't be, right? That can't.
Oh, and Brian thinks that if you challenge him to debate, he'll say he charges $5,000 for an hour, I think. So he's really hard up for money, but he turns down a chance to make $10,000 in less time. And yeah. So, but he honestly thinks that the shit he's saying right now, right here, and in any other videos he's made, he thinks his time, he thinks what he says is worth $5,000. That's how fucking conceited and arrogant and just full of bullshit he is.
Happen, right? We all know that's impossible. It's obviously impossible, because here's a straight line down from that point. The sun would be above this point here, right? So if this is the well, right, this can't be the well. Do you know what I mean? That can't happen. That can't be the well, and this be the well. You know what I mean? The sun would be coming, light would be coming straight down. There's a show just up here, right?
Why are you showing? Why do you have a tangent line here? Why do you have this, Brian? What's the purpose of this tangent line? Huh? What's the purpose? Are you trying to say, well, this is flat, so this is why it matches? Is that what you're doing, Brian?
Right. Here is the well, right? Sun, light, over the well, end of shadow, horizontal baseline. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. That's the way it is. That's what the solar elevation angle is.
See, flip this around, Brian. Flip this around and move the sun, 93 million miles away. Do that. Do it. Make a model where the sun is 93 million miles away with diverging sun rays, all, fanning out all directions, right? Right? All directions. And put it where it's supposed to be in this illustration. And guess what you're going to fucking see, Brian? You're going to see parallel lines. Not perfectly parallel, but close enough. Mm-hmm.
Right, as I showed, light from the sun is divergent, hitting the earth divergent, earth is flat, that's the end of that. There's no way around it. But obviously people want to have silly arguments. But either way, this doesn't work, right? Need
to ask him this. where are we at here? 1930? 1930. Why did you well and the obelisk? How do you OBEL? That's a very dishonest thing. Dishonest thing to do. Very dishonest.
You will have a shadow in the well if the sun was hitting that, which it won't, because the sun is going to be kind of straight down over the point above the well or whatever.
Yeah, it's his get out of debate free card, because he knows for a fact that no one's going to waste their money on him. That he knows for a fact that he's not worth the money.
Which would be the end of the adjacent of the elevation angle.
I mean, how sad is that, to know you're not worth money, but you use that to chicken out a debate?
There's going to be 1.162 nautical miles of a difference, right? And people could go, well, it wouldn't matter. It's only a small bit. You know what I mean? People want to, on the globe side, want to make up stuff in their minds to somehow make something that into something it can't be. You know what I mean? No, 1.162 nautical miles, and the fact that it's at an angle in relation to being directly below the sun, none of this can work, right? But for those that want to kind of claim, oh, it's only a small distance, it wouldn't really matter too much, you know, it would absolutely matter, right? I just shown here that, or instantly, the whole thing is impossible, right? Geometrically impossible, right? But just to really hammer it home, I'm just going to add some stuff in here. Just give me a moment. Trying to click on a few boxes. Whoops, click a few boxes here. Wait, I think I got clicked. Right, so let's just say Eratosthenes didn't have a 7.24 degree or 80 whatever degree elevation angle, giving him a 7.24 degree zenith angle. Let's just say he had a 45 degree elevation angle, giving him a 45 degree zenith angle. Then how that would work out for the globe would be, right, because obviously...
No, man. No. See, you keep putting the well in the wrong place, Brian. That's what you keep doing. And what the fuck is this still? What the fuck is this, Brian? He really is dumb. And then you've got this line drawn here. So yeah, this would be where the obelisk is, and this would be where the well is, Brian.
That would be the length here across here, between there and there. It'd be 2,700. I have 700. I have two in there. I just didn't do it exactly perfect. But I have 2,000.
No. See, on a sphere Earth, on the Earth, we use the Haversine formula to get the length of a line, and it's not a tangent. It's not a tangent, Brian.
700 nautical miles along here, or maybe that one there is the arc length. Either way, the point being is that it won't matter because the small little differential should be 2,700. I have an extra 2, right? But it doesn't matter because this arc length here, between here and here, is 2,700, and between this point and this point is 2,700. But when we look at the differential, it's not like earlier where it's 1.16 or whatever nautical miles. It's 402 nautical miles. Do you understand the problem? And we can measure elevation.
Yeah, we understand the problem quite well, Brian. You're dumber than dog shit, and you think you're smarter than everyone. That's the problem.
Angles, the celestial bodies, including the sun, that will give us lengths of 5,400 nautical miles, which would be 6,210 or whatever it is, or 13 statute miles. Point being is that is the differential. So when you measure right, the solar elevation of the sun, right, if you're at Alexandria, right, here, and that's Cyan, then the sun is directly over.
How do you know how high the sun is, Brian? How do you know what your circle of elevation is going to be if you don't know the height of the sun? Huh? How do you know? You don't. You can't know at all. Hey, Extra J.
Over the well at 12 o'clock noon on the 21st of June, right, giving you no shadow down the well, pure light down into the well, right? The sun's lighting up the whole of the well, and you have a shadow here. That's a horizontal. You're measuring the horizontal because obviously, as I showed earlier, right, and as I stated, the whole parallel light thing is just a red herring away from the actual measurement, which is measurement of a right triangle, right? So, point being is that the adjacent is always going to be horizontal. And it can't be a tangent. It can't be a tangent for this reason. You can't be a tangent. It doesn't work as a tangent. It only works as if you're actually referencing mean sea level as horizontal. None of this works as a tangent. It's not an elevation above a tangent.
Oh my God. So this is sea level to him. This is sea level that's horizontal. Because naturally our frame of reference is outer space. Right? Fuck me.
It's elevation above the earth. Right? That's what you're trying to do. You have to be parallel with mean sea level. Right? None of this works unless you're not. So this is the problem. Right? If the light from the sun has to come straight down into the well here, right? Straight down from above. I'll just show it here again. Sorry.
Look at how dishonest this motherfucker is. He really is dishonest.
Where's it gone then? Oh, sorry. Not that losing my position. Oh, it's up here. Right? Sun comes straight down into the well, right? And you have the angle to the sun, and there's a straight line here. That can't be, this green and black line here, can't be a tangent. Right? Because the sun has to come.
Say what? What line can't be a tangent? Green and black? Yeah, it is a tangent. If this is the point you're measuring. See that? Jesus fucking Christ. Why do you... Holy shit.
Straight down. It's not coming in at an angle. It's coming straight down. The light has to come straight down, right? That means that this line here and as the zenith from where Eratosthenes would have been have to be parallel verticals because this is a horizontal. They both have to be 90 degrees to that horizontal. So it can't be a tangent because the GP point, right? The sun has to be over that GP point, and the GP point in this instance is the well. Now, as I said, if the well was 2,700 nautical miles away, right, there would be a differential for the globe of 402 nautical miles, right? Whatever that would be in stature. It's never going to work, right? There's even a differential with 500, with 500 statute miles. What is it? 434.48 nautical miles. There's a differential of over a nautical mile, and with 2,700 nautical miles, there's a differential of over 400. Right? It doesn't work. It can't work because the sun must be directly over the GP point. Now, if the sun is directly over this GP point here, the measurement can't happen. Right? It can't work. Right? It won't work because it only works, as Eratosthenes talked about and claimed, it only works if, where are we? Yeah. For a globe, if you have parallel light rays. That's the only way it works for a globe, if light is parallel and you ignore the measurement. So it's a twofold thing. Not only does the light coming from the sun need to be parallel, right, which means it hasn't diverged yet, it's hitting a globe parallel, but the measurement must be ignored as well, because you can't make a measurement here and have a tangent going up here and have the sun be here and, let's just say, coming down to hit something here at the end of the tangent and that thing be here. It can't be done, right? What I mean is this, right? I'm going to show. I'll try.
Oh my God. Yeah, Skoimoils. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he still thinks it, but he used to think that arc minutes was a measure of time or some shit. I mean, just incredibly fucking stupid.
Try and show in real time, right, what I'm talking about. So just give me, right, 0% or any other thing, right, and give me a point. I'll put that point here, right, and now I get a tangent, right. Right, there's a tangent to this, let's say, globe here, right. Now, the problem is this, right. If we just zoom in here, let's just say I get a segment, right, to something out here, and another one down to here, right, and from here then to the from here then, right, this is what the globe needs to have happen, right, so the actual point ends up being somewhere around here, right, for the globe, whereas this is where the actual point directly below the celestial body is, right. This doesn't work because for the sun to come down directly into the
so you're showing it right here, Brian. You're proving yourself wrong right here.
well, right, and for you to use a tangent means that the sunlight must be coming straight down.
No, Brian, this is not the direction of the sun, stupid. This is the sun. These two lines here are sun rays. Parallel sun rays. This isn't parallel sun rays. Why the fuck did you draw this line in, Brian? Why did you do that, you dishonest piece of fucking shit?
And, oh, sorry, I want to get a vector. Straight down and down this way, right? That's what needs to have happen. I'm just going to make that vector bigger. as you can see, right? The sunlight has to be coming down and make this orange.
No, bro. Why are you drawing the sun so close, man? So you got two suns. What the fuck, man?
Just like that, right? And this one, so you can see it, right? Has to be coming down in this vector, right? Not in at that vector. It's not going.
Why? Why, Brian? This is what it does. This is what the sun does, motherfucker, in reality. God, he's so fucking dishonest. So he's drawn a tangent in, which has absolutely nothing to do with fuck all. Then he's drawn a straight line down from some arbitrary position along this fucking sun ray that goes way the fuck out there. What a dishonest piece of shit.
In that vector. I'm just put another vector in there, right? And 1 second now, I know I'm doing this on the fly, but it won't be much longer. Make that bigger and make that orange as well, right? Right, so you can see the sun would have to be coming in at this vector into a well here, not straight down over a well here, right? So even if you're trying to use a tangent, you destroy the globe because mathematically it doesn't work. You can't make it work geometrically. It can't be done. This is where the well is, right? That is where Eratosthenes is measuring from. You cannot have the light from the sun coming straight down into.
No, this is not where he's measuring from, motherfucker. It's way the fuck out.
The well here and also into the well at this angle. It doesn't work. So trying to use a tangent means nothing because you're not measuring the elevation of anything above a tangent, and also the GP of the celestial body is the well. So how can the GP of the celestial body be at the end of a tangent? I'm going to make this blue. How can it be at the end of a tangent, right, the GP of the celestial body, and be on the surface of the globe at the same time? You need two GPs at that point, and a GP stands for a geographical position. Now, the end of a tangent is not a geographical position, is it? Right? This is what's really going on is there is no globe, there is no tangent. This is the well. This is where Eratosthenes is. That's where the sun is. Right? I'm going to make that bigger and make it orange, right? That's where the sun is, and that's reality. And that's what happened, and that's what always happens because the Earth is flat. It is not a globe. Geometrically can't be. There is no GP here and a GP at the end of a tangent, right? And the GP can't be below the tangent because it's not a GP, right? You can't have it on the tangent or below the tangent because none of.
Good Lord. He knows absolutely nothing about this. Nothing. So let me show you something, Brian. Here we've got the Earth. Or we got the sun, right? Here we got the sun. This is the sun. And light rays are converging, right? You can see them. They're converging, right? They're converging to a pinpoint at the center of the sun. So what we'll do, Brian, is we'll just zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out. And we'll move this up here. We'll move this way the fuck up. Wow, look, Brian. Look at these sun rays, man. Look. See? You know, I can keep going and going and going. But when you get far enough away, guess what they do, Brian? They look fucking parallel. That's what happens when you do that. Oops. Can I move? And that's not working. Yeah, Brian, see? When you get far enough away, those lines are parallel.
None of them are a GP because it's a tangent. Look, if the tangent is this long, right, then it's a tangent to nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Or a GP to nowhere. There is no GP because there's no geographical position.
Why are you putting a tangent in, and why are you drawing a line from the tangent? Why, Brian? Because you think it makes you look smart? Because you're showing angles? You're a fucking dickhead.
No geometry, no topography, no Earth surface. This just fails outright, geometrically in all other ways. There is no way for any of this to work on a globe Earth. But people obviously want to believe that it does. And what they want to do is try and input parallel sun rays onto a flat Earth, right? Which is not the case. There is no parallel sun rays. Where are these parallel sun rays? They don't exist in reality.
Yeah, they do, Brian. Looky, Brian. They do. See, they do exist in reality. There you go. You think these sun rays fucking diverged out until they hit these fucking poles and then went straight? Is that what you think happened, Brian? You think they diverged out until they hit the poles and then they just all of a sudden straightened out? Is that what your little fucking pinhead brain thinks? Your empty little mind?
There was only divergent light from the sun, right, hitting the Earth. The sun's light hits the Earth divergently, right? It doesn't hit it parallel, right? And even if it did, that measurement still can't be made if the Earth was a globe. Can't be done. The whole lot fails geometrically, no way out of it, right? All you can do as a globe believer to reply to this video is to try and somehow go back and just show what you believe happens in the Eratosthenes measurement. And it's just like, which is going to be just exactly the thing I'm debunking. Do you know what I mean? I don't have any beliefs about this. I know what's happening.
No, you think. You think. You have a belief in the flat earth. And that's all you have, Brian. See how many videos he has. "209 videos. And not one of them have you shown proof of flat earth. How fucking pathetic are you, man? After 209 videos, how many years? Since 2010, dude. You've had 15 fucking years. And you have never shown any evidence for flat earth.
Happening. What did happen, if he existed or not, and what
I mean, what an epic failure you are.
would happen if anyone did decide to measure an elevation angle to the sun. There is only one thing that can happen, and that is the measurement of a flat earth. There is no other way around it, right? It is what it is. You know, there's no way. Every single image proves it. There's no way around it. You can't go back. You can't go forward.
Yeah, see, not every single image, Brian. Not every single image. See, this video proves you wrong right here. Even here, these shadows coming from the trees. These are parallel, right? You can see the light streaks. These are parallel. So, you're just fucking retarded. You're an idiot, Brian.
There's no way out. Doesn't work on the globe. As I said, with a 2,700 nautical mile distance to the GP, if the well was at 2,700 nautical miles away at this point, right, and the sun has to be up here directly over this point, right, over the well here, then on the globe there's a differential of over.
Brian, you just showed this. So it's got Cyrene with the sun coming straight down above it. And then you got this where the sun's coming in straight down off center of this with the angle. So what do? Being a corrupt piece of shit? You flip them around. You put the well over here and you put the obelisk here. What a dumb fuck you are. What a dishonest piece of fucking garbage.
2,700 nautical mile distance to the GP, if the well was at 2,700 nautical miles away at this point, right, and the sun has to be up here directly over this point, right, over the well here, then on the globe there's a differential of over 402 nautical miles. What would that be? Let me just see, right, let's say 402, multiplied by 1.1508 equals, that's 400, almost 463 statute miles. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just ridiculous. Can't be done. Impossible. So even mathematically, it doesn't work. Like, as I showed earlier, even mathematically, I just go back to, I think it was this one. They need two suns. Do you understand? It's so ridiculous. They need to show two.
Here, let me do what you're doing here, Brian. Here. See, everyone knows that 2 plus 2 equals 8. Oh wait, 2. No, see, this is a lie. Everyone knows 2 plus 2 is 8. See, the globe would want you to believe that it's 4, but everyone knows it's 8. That's how fucking stupid you sound, Brian.
two suns within their, and the cheek of calling this an experiment, but they need two suns within their diagrams. It's terrible. Like, it's just none of it is real. That's what's happening. Do you know what I mean? That's what's happening.
Hey, Brian, how many suns are connected to these lines? How many suns are here, Brian? Can you tell me how many suns are shown or represented by these lines? Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Is there 13 suns, Brian? Is there? Jesus fucking
This is not
Christ.
happening. This is not happening. This is not, well, that is happening. That's happening.
Oh, so that's happening?
It's just none of it is real. That's what's happening. Do you know what I mean? That's what's happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. This is not, well, that is happening.
But you just showed yeah. So this is happening. You said this is happening, right? You said this is true. The others aren't, right? So if you're saying this is true, then this clearly shows that this is not true, but this is. So you're not smart enough to even not debunk yourself.
That's happening. That's happening. This is not happening. So I don't know what else to say. There's just no way out. The sun has to be, wherever the sun is, directly below that sun is the GP point of the sun. And in that instance, the well is the GP point, which means that the well and the measurement of distances.
Yes, the well is the GP of the sun, Brian. Yes, and at the obelisk, it's at an angle.
Horizontal, and when the end of that horizontal, I just show. I can probably show here. The end of this horizontal, sorry, here, the dotted line, right here. The end of that horizontal has to be 90 degrees to the light coming straight down from the sun. So the end of this horizontal and the light straight.
No, Brian, no, not at all. The Earth isn't flat. You don't have a 90-degree angle at all, ever.
Down from the sun is where the GP of the sun is, and that's 90 degrees to that horizontal. So
Or you won't have a baseline, a straight baseline, a flat baseline. This is a curve, Brian. This line right here would be a curve.
the well has to be directly below that, and that's it.
And this sun would be 93 million miles away.
That's where Eratosthenes is. That's where the well is. There's no way around it. No if buts, no maybes. No, oh, well, it's a zenith angle, not an elevation angle. No, that for all the fools out there who want to come at me with that stupid nonsense. Stuff I dealt with years ago at this stage, right? No, the zenith angle uses 90 degrees as well. And in this instance, you have to measure the elevation angle to get the zenith angle. But it doesn't matter because the zenith angle is from 90 down to 0, whereas the elevation angle is 0 up to 90. It's the same thing, just read the opposite way, you know, in case there's any boneheads out there who want to tell me about a zenith angle because they don't know what they're talking about, which I'm sure some.
If you guess this dipshit's name is Brian.
Well, but what can you do? You can't stop them. They have a belief, a silly religious belief, and hopefully they'll realise that I'm actually trying to do them a service by breaking them out of this silly religious belief. Hopefully they'll realise that. They may or may not. But all you can.
You know, it would help people break out of their religious belief, debating them one-on-one, Brian, for no money. So you want to break people out of their religious belief, but you want to charge for it? What a fucking clown.
Can do this try. Thanks for watching.
What a dumb motherfucker. All right. We're done with this. I don't even know why I'm putting this link in here because everybody's there already. But here you go. This is Unfornicated's live stream. I don't have the subs to raid his channel, which I'd like to do. So you're just going to have to click on the link and go there. But that's where I'm going to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Be seeing you. Hey, Brian, get fucking help, man.